Hey guys, hope all is well today. Just got finished, I'm a little bit out of breath, just got finished exercising. Okay, I wanted to show you a couple things. This is my home gym. And we obviously got all the things, and then we have basketball, and we got air hockey over here. I got ping pong, pool table. Let me turn the thing around. We got an extra apartment over here, and bathroom, and living room, TV, massage chair, and then this Pac-Man thing. I don't even know what you call it, but it is got like 7,000 games on it. You can see over here is all of my tax rebels, all of our stuff that we give our tax rebels people. But I thought as I was on the treadmill, there's Connect 4 over there too. And I'm gonna walk to the house. I thought as I was on the treadmill today, I just wanted to share, tomorrow, I'm super excited. I hired Tony Robbins, and happy birthday, by the way, to Tony Robbins. He's 67 on the February 29th, so obviously there was no February 29th this year, but Tony Robbins turned 67. So I don't know if that was on February 28th or March 1st, but happy birthday. And, I'll walk you over to see my goats and chickens, and also we have dogs as well, but you might want to see the pig. He's massive. But anyway, I hired Tony Robbins trainer. I start tomorrow. I'm super excited about that. I'm down 22 pounds. Here, let me show you. Well, here's our new generator to house the house, but here's pigs, goats. Hey, little goat. I'm not much of a farm girl, but we do obviously have a farm, and we have animals. So anyway, so I've hired Tony Robbins trainer. His name is Billy Beck. Pretty amazing. 20 to 33 minutes a day you work out, but the massive results that you get. If you guys have looked at Tony Robbins lately, it looks like he's aging backwards. And you know what I am learning every single day for their expertise, not my other internet picked up. You pay people for what they do and what they have learned in the past, and you condense time. So I am committed this year to working out of my practice, working myself out of my practice to become a business owner, not an operator. Not because I need to make more money, because I need to free myself up so that I can help more people and build a system that not only helps more people, but allows me to do the things that I am really, really good at. And there are other people who are really, really good at doing the things that I hate to do. And just finding those people and aligning with those people is what I'm committed to do this year. And you know, when you put that stuff out there in the world, it just comes back. And we have hired this week 4 of what I believe to be the most amazing people on the planet. So I'm just super excited I made that commitment about a month and a half ago when I was at Mar-a-Lago, and I'm like, this is going to happen. The last couple weeks have been nothing shy of amazing. We are working in collaboration with a guy that actually helped create the Big Beautiful Bill. And I'm going to move chairs because my internet's not working so well. And he actually, we are looking at potentially partnering, buying up some accounting practices so that we can use those accounting practices to help more people, bring in more skilled help, and just super excited about that. Like, there's so many things, there's so much opportunity, guys, out there. If you stop focusing on all the negative, yes, I understand we started a war yesterday. Yes, I understand that the economy sucks as far as the inflation. Interest rates have gone down, which is super amazing. So if you're buying something, it's super great. If you're like me and you're using the bank's money in order to make you passive income, it's amazing. Or, you know, buying a new building. So we just bought a new building on Friday for our office. We now have 7,500 square feet. And we have enough to grow another 30 people. So if you are in this area and you're looking to be a part of something big, maybe you want to reach out to me and we could see about bringing you on in whatever capacity that looks like. So we're creating a coaching program, a training program. You know, we've obviously started 2 new companies this past year, and it's my goal to help. It's not, I don't want to help just the ones who have a lot of money, like a big 4 firm. I want to help everyone, right? But you have to build systems in order to do that. Do I want to help everyone because I need money? No, it has nothing to do with that. I want to create impact. So when you get to a point in your life where money is not the issue, then you start looking at all the other opportunities in life. And granted, do I have all the money in the world that I want? No. Do I have all the money to buy all the things that I want? No, not necessarily, because I see new things every day. I have bigger dreams and aspirations. And I don't think the money has anything to do with it. It's the time, right? I want the time freedom, but I don't just want it for myself. I want it for my children as well. But they have to put in work to understand and realize how important work is. But it may not be the same type of work that you had when you started. It's smart work, right? So how do we put in automations? How do we put in AI? How do we put in systems and people along with those systems in order to make more money so that we can have more freedom, right? So, I mean, money, you may say money is not everything or money is the root of all evil. And I will tell you, Tony 7 years ago did an amazing transformation on me. When I was dealing with my daughter, it was 7 years ago, Platinum Partnership. He did that for about 3 hours and helped me understand why she was doing what she was doing. It was not me, it was her. And clearly, you know, still 7 years today, it still is her. But the last piece was what money was and money was not. And I'm going to share this with you because most people can't even comprehend the fact that they're going to go call their clients and ask them to front them money for 2 months so they don't have any money to pay for their 6 children to have food, and have no idea how they're going to make ends meet, but knew without a shadow of a doubt, saw something that I had to do, and that was join Platinum Partnership. I'm not telling you to go out and do it, but I want you to understand something that shifted my mindset. See, I was taught, I'm sure just like you guys, that money does not grow on trees, right? We're taught that. It actually does. It's paper. So therefore, paper comes from trees, and trees, therefore, money does actually grow on trees. It's a crazy concept, but it actually does. Now, don't go making your own money from trees, but that's where the money comes from. So the other thing we're taught is money is evil, right? I mean, no. That's not true at all whatsoever. But we're taught that, right? We're taught that the meek will inherit the earth, right? It's better for a rich man. What is it? The eye of a needle, like you have to go through the eye of a needle in order to make it into heaven or something like that. I can't remember the stupid, crazy verse that it says that. But then there's all these verses in like Deuteronomy 27:28, and it talks about blessings and curses, right? It talks about following the 10 Commandments, and I'm not going down that path today, so don't worry. I want to share with you that there's some contradictions on what money is and what money is not. And I felt that my Father created me, the Father, right? Our Heavenly Father created me. And he didn't want me to live in sickness and disease and sadness and no money. He wanted me to have abundance, right? So sheer abundance. And so when you understand that, you're like, doesn't your parents, your parents, if they're normal parents, right? They want you to have abundance. Want you to work for it, right? Not necessarily, you don't have to work hard. You just may need to work smart, right? So you have to put in effort for it, but you reap and you sow. And so he wants us to have true abundance. And so money is to me, right? What money was to me, is that's what Tony made me say, like stand up and say, money is what? And he would not let me think through it. I had to subconsciously say what money was. Because I was like, money is time, money is freedom, money is, I can't even think of what I came up with at that point in time. And then he made me say money is not. Money is not everything, right? I'm sitting here saying money is time and freedom, right? And then I'm saying money is not time because I have to work, right, in order to make money. And then money's not freedom because the money that I made at that time was going to pay for attorneys for a house that was infested with mold, dealing with a custody battle for my ex-husband constantly, who made my life a living hell for 18 years. So, and then on top of that, and my husband's ex-wife, that's a whole nother story. Fighting, attorneys will do nothing but steal your money, okay? They do not help you, they steal your money. Especially on a family court side. Maybe not in other types of, but anyway, family court. So money is not, right? Money is not everything. Money is not time. Money is not freedom. All these things. And then he told me, he said, Courtney, you will never keep money because of that mindset. You'll make it because you believe it is time and freedom. But the thing is that because of the things that you believe it is not, right? You don't believe it's time. You don't believe it's freedom. Subconsciously, you will have to give it away or get rid of it. Or things will come into your life like the lawyer and you will have to give it away. See, what I have learned over time is you literally put something into existence and you speak it and it comes, it happens. Like, I'm not talking about an affirmation, right? I'm talking about I commit to doing something and subconsciously my brain says I have to make that happen. See, it's just focused on survival typically. But if you speak something into existence and you go put action towards that, the Father steps in and then he starts delivering. See, it is that's the first step. It's not about I've got to figure out a plan. See, I sat in a room a month and a half ago at Mar-a-Lago and I saw people at a higher level, money, not money, but more prestige. And they had time. And I was about to walk into tax season knowing that I was going to have to spend, 30, 40, 50 hours a week just doing calls all day long. And I'm like, this is crazy. Something has to give. And they, the one guy beside me had 100,000 clients. And I'm like, man, I'm thinking small. He actually said what hit me hard is he said, I got 3,000 clients last month. And he's a financial advisor. And I'm like, man, what would it look like if I could help people 3,000 more clients every single month, just free up money? What would that look like? That would be life-changing, right? I mean, if I had 100,000 clients that I had freed up with the information that I share every single year, I'd freed up another $10,000 a year in taxes. And then we help them by the strategy that I talk about, replacing your mortgage. And you can actually take out a first loan HELOC and you can pay your mortgage off in 7 years with the same money, not extra money. Same money that you're currently making, you can pay that off in 7 years as opposed to 10 years because it's simple interest as opposed to compounded interest. And then we started teaching people how to provide wealth, like how to actually take the money that you're currently making and create passive income with that. Instead of giving it away to the government or giving it away to pay for things that do not serve you, like a new car or a new vehicle, whatever. And yes, you may love your new car. My husband loves his Cadillac V. ESV series. I'm not telling people not to have the things that they want in life, but what we should really be focused on is how to make active income turn into passive assets to then make passive income. And then that passive income is what creates true wealth. It also allows you to buy anything and everything that you ever want. But we're not taught that information in college. We're not taught that information in high school. And we sure are not taught that by the billionaires. So you see, the billionaires, they want us to take all of our money and give it to them in Berkshire Hathaway and give it to them in mutual funds and give it to their financial advisors. And meanwhile, you are supposed to be happy with your little 10% a year that you make. I'm over here making 48%, right? Because I'm smart enough to know that the market is rigged. I'm smart enough to know that I'm not gambling with my money. And I'm smart enough to find people who are smarter than me who can make me money while I make my own money. And then I use that money to buy all the things that I want. What would that look like if instead of the 3,000 clients that I currently have, what if I helped 100,000 people do that? And guys, that takes a system, a massive system. And because the majority of people the majority of accounting firms, right? They're just looking to continue to grow and grow and grow and take the bottom 80%, get rid of those and move up, charge a higher price. We haven't gone up on our prices in 5 years. And the reason why is because I'm not in this to make more money off of you. I'm in this to make you more money and to save you more money. But there also is a higher level of advisory that we have to do because nobody else is doing it. So that becomes a higher tier offer. And I'm super excited about it. It's called OTB Wealth. So we're doing that, launching that at the end of the month. I'm not trying to sell you here, but I've already maxed out the waiting list right now. And we are going to help 25 people. And I'm going to help them for the next 6 months. And I'm going to build a system. So I'm not in this to try to get another job. I'm in this to help people seek financial freedom. Not because I make money off of them, because it's the right thing to do. When you learn something that is valuable for people, you should be on Facebook sharing that. And whether one person gets it or 100 people get it, I don't know where my mind goes, but I do, and I'm going to just share this. I'm probably going to get emotional about it, but 4.5 years ago, my mom was murdered due to COVID protocol. And you may say, what? Yep, she was murdered due to COVID protocol. Remdesivir poisoning that Fauci owned, okay? And that's how everybody died due to COVID. Not because of COVID, but because they went to the hospital and they were given a protocol that they knew 6 years before that 56% of every person who took that drug in an Ebola study would die within 28 days, okay? So that was proven, that was known, and our government continued to allow it. And children as small as 6 weeks old now, if they have COVID, get on remdesivir. And when my mom was murdered, obviously there was a lot of censoring that year. I got censored for 9 out of 12 months. And everything I did, like I got shut down. But when I posted a video, I didn't quite understand what was happening. I didn't know about remdesivir. And I'm telling you this because I need you to understand how important it is to share the information that's in your brain, okay? So I knew that the ventilator would kill my mom. And granted, I was not there to make the decision when my dad pulled the plug because he did not call me and tell me that. So that's a whole nother story for a different day. But when I went to the hospital and I started questioning them on what they were giving my mom, I was forced into a room and a doctor was supposed to come and talk to me. And I started asking questions. What medication do you have her on? What is the protocol? All the stuff. And he said, hold on just a second. Let me go look. And he came back. He didn't come back. A nurse came back, the head nurse of the ICU, and 2 police officers came back, and they escorted me off the property. They would not let me walk by my mom to tell her goodbye. They would not let me see my mom. They would not let me walk on the side of the hospital that my mom was on. And then when I left to go get in my car, I started hyperventilating, and when I did that, they told me I had 30 seconds to get off the property. So I knew something was crazy wrong. I even got my attorney involved. I tried to get back in to see my mom, and they sent an email back. My attorney sent me a letter and said, due to end of death, you only get 30 minutes, and they're not going to let you back in the hospital at all whatsoever because of the actions that you took, questioning what they were doing, okay? So I took that. That was all. I couldn't do anything for my mom at that point. But I knew that the ventilator was killing 90% of the people, right? I didn't know anything about remdesivir at this point. So I created a video and I started telling people, don't go to the hospital. Do not go to the hospital. Please don't go to the hospital. They will kill you. And my mom had good health insurance, which is why I don't have health insurance. And the hospital got paid $300,000 to murder her. Okay. Remdesivir was $5,000 a day. $30,000 to get her on a ventilator, and I think they got another $200,000 just for her to die inside of the hospital. For the first time ever, hospitals got paid to kill people. Maybe that we know of, right? Don't get me started on cancer. But I created a video. So instead of getting angry and upset and going off in a corner, when my mom died, when my dad pulled the plug on my mom, he did it because the doctors told him that if her blood pressure was going to drop so low, granted she'd had high blood pressure for 25 years, and that her blood pressure was going to drop so low when they gave her kidney dialysis. Now, her kidneys were fine when she walked in the door 8 days before. But her kidneys have now failed because she's bringing in all of these toxic chemicals, the remdesivir, that is destroying her kidneys, and they're pumping it in faster than her kidneys can push it out, right? You don't die of a kidney failure when you have a respiratory virus. Wake up, right? And I'm smart enough to know that. I'm not a doctor. I was going to be a doctor. Thank God I'm not a doctor, because I'd probably be in prison right now. So anyway, they tell him that she's going to die of she's going to have brain damage, and be brain dead because her blood pressure is going to drop so low if they give her kidney dialysis. Now, granted, my dad didn't even attempt. There was no attempting to do it at all. He just said, okay, and pulled the plug, like many other people do. Now, sadly enough, I wanted to walk you through the story because I think it's important. So I went on this rampage, right? One, I didn't get the chance to tell my mom goodbye. Two, my dad pulls the plug and doesn't call me or my children and have us at least, because he knew I was going to say no. He knew I would have fought it. Don't know why he didn't do it, but he didn't. And no, I don't have a relationship with my dad. I did talk to him about a month and a half ago, and he told me that I had to forget everything that happened in order to have a relationship with him. He didn't want to talk about it. He wanted to move on, and that's just kind of tough. It's not, I don't hold a grudge against him. I need to have a conversation about it, and if I can't, there's no point, right? If you come to your child, or your child comes to you and says, I need to talk through this with you, and I need to have a conversation with you, if you are not willing to do that, you do not love them, okay? Period. I don't care how you feel about it. Emotionally, if you are that shut down, and you cannot even have a conversation with your child about something that's important to them, then that shows you I don't have unconditional love for you, right? I'm not trying to help you. So, different story. I have a point. So I went and started sharing a video. I did this video. I shared how they were murdering people in the hospital. I thought just at the time, due to the ventilators, they were keeping people away from their families, and they were murdering them, right, for money. And I got 70,000 views in about, I don't know, it was not very long. I got shut down. YouTube, I did it first on YouTube. No, I did a Facebook Live. Then I got shut down. Did a YouTube, got shut down. Then I did it on Vimeo, got shut down. Then I did it on Rumble. See, I knew there was something majorly wrong when I was talking about my mama being murdered in a hospital due to COVID protocol, and I'm getting shut down on social media, all forms. But here's what happened. I had people start sharing that. See, I learned something. I didn't even know yet, really, the full extent of it, but I started sharing that. And when I started sharing it, other people started sharing my video and realizing the same thing was happening to their family members. And I happened to share it to this. It had I think it was 73,000 views in 24 hours. But I happened to share it with this one, somebody saw it, a drug rep, actually, in Columbia, South Carolina. I live in Greenville. I'm from Conway, South Carolina, really a small town called Aner, South Carolina. And someone that I knew from Aner got my video. Drug rep sent it to her. Her mom had been sitting in the same hospital for 28 days on a ventilator. And her name was Cindy Butler. And every day they told her how horrible of a daughter that she was because she was not willing to pull the plug on her mama. They told her that her mom was a vegetable, that she'd had a massive stroke, and if she ever woke up, she would be nothing, right? She would not be the same person. And so she found that video and she messaged me. And I told her that you cannot be a part of someone's murder. Because essentially that's what it was, right? You don't get to choose to pull the plug on somebody. That's the father's choice, right? When that happens. And so when I shared that with her, she asked me if she could call me. And I sent her a prayer that I'd gotten. It was a COVID prayer. It's like the to release the curses and the demonic influence over a person's body that had COVID. And I called her right after she'd said that prayer to her, and her mom's eyes woke up. Her mom's eyes opened. Now, they didn't open, but for 10, 15 seconds, she went right back to sleep. And I said, your mom's there, right? You do not listen to anything that they have to say. Just be there for her. She's going to wake up. I know it. And she did. And she's perfectly fine. She didn't have a stroke. She's not a vegetable. Yes, she had to go to rehab. She had to learn how to walk again. But she's not a vegetable. And she's been able to see her two grandchildren now grow up. My mama missed that because a doctor made a decision along with my dad. But I didn't hate him for it, right? I didn't go on a rampage about that because I couldn't fix that. I couldn't bring my mom home. What I did is I shared a video. Now, what happened after that, about 3 days later, someone shared a video with me that I wish they would have shared a week later, or 10 days later, or 2 weeks earlier, earlier. And that video explained what they were doing in the hospitals. It was Dr. Brian Artis, and Dr. Brian Artis was he was a beacon of hope. May of 2020, he came out and started sharing exactly what they were doing with remdesivir, exactly the study, and I tried for the next 6 weeks to save 5 of my clients who died, all from remdesivir poisoning. But what happened from there is that we saved over 100 lives. People called me, people texted me, people Facebook messaged me, and it was just truly amazing. You know, people reaching out, and I don't think I was never as adamant, right, about all the things that were happening in our country until my mom died. I often think about, would I love to have her here? Yes. Should I have fought harder in the hospital to try to get access to her? Yes. But an attorney was telling me I don't have access as a public hospital or private hospital. So, but it's because of that, I shared that story, and it saved so many people. And I'm saying that to say this, like, I'm really good at when I need to understand something by learning it, right? I lost a business. I lost everything I had. That was a learning lesson for me. I was a part of it. And so, I filed bankruptcy. That was a learning lesson for me. I had to voluntarily withdraw my bankruptcy because I couldn't afford to pay the payments that they told me I need to pay. All of these things, I've been through divorces, right? I've been through domestic violence. And I came out of it. And so it's so important for people to just hear your story. I need you to understand, we get on here on Facebook and it's like, we look our best, right? We have our filters, some of us are using AI, which my AI twin's coming. I'm super excited about that, to just share more education, right? It's just share more education and help more people. So I don't have to get up and get ready. It doesn't take time for me, but I can help more people. That's really what it's all about. But stories are so important. Hey, Esther. And I'm thankful that I'm willing to be raw and share, because people need it. People need inspiring stories, right? They need to know I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that's suffering through this. They also need to know the good part about it is when you come out of it. They need to understand where you've been. They need to understand here's the center, here's where you're at right now, and that you can come out of it. I think the biggest thing, the song is like, if you're going through hell, keep on going, right? Because you will get out of it eventually. And that's what it takes. But we need to share what has happened in our life and how we've gotten through it. And you have no clue who it's going to help. I didn't know how many people it's going to impact with my mom. For me, it is very therapeutic for me to just share something. I have forgiven everybody in my family. For those of you that don't know, my family hasn't spoken to me in almost 12 years, up until the last year. And now it's just different. Like, I needed and longed for them for so long. I took my kids out of public school. My family got upset. They didn't understand it. Now, the best thing I could have ever done was taking my kids out of public school. Best thing I could have ever done, honestly, was my family stopped speaking to me, because it made me more efficient. I didn't have anybody to look for. I didn't have anybody to talk to, right? So I just started sharing stuff on social media, and that grew our brand. And, you know, I'm thankful for everything that's happened to me to get me to where I'm at today. And so even when it hurts, like, what you have to understand is that the Father, I call him the Father, you can call him, you know, you can call him God or whatever, but the Father has good and bad things happen to you to keep you on the path that he wants you on. And so you may say, well, why in the world would he do that? God, when you look on the other side, it's like I was making $30,000 a year working my butt off at my house with, you know, in a small house. You know, it wasn't a small house, I don't guess, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilling and doing the things that I wanted to do. And I probably never would have left Horry County, which is not the place to raise your children. I'm sorry if you're from Horry County, but there's so many other places that you should be raising your children outside of there. And so I was able to leave there, and you know, my kids are in a co-op, like an amazing co-op with 1,700 kids, and it's great. And they have prom, and they have graduation, and they have amazing friends, but they only go to school 2 days a week, and they love us. They're close to us, right? They don't go to school, and they're gone, and they're taught all these things that they're learning in public school. So every single thing, like if you just really go back and look, write down a journal every single day, and you look at your path, it's like you see that there are things that come in alignment to get you on the path, right? And keep you on the path. And then there are roadblocks. And, you know, you may say Satan creates those. Yep, I think he does if you're trying to seek what the Father has in store for you. But the other piece of that is that I think the Father does that sometimes. It's not because he doesn't love you. It's not because he doesn't want what's best for you. It's because you aren't paying attention. And he is waking you up to the reality of what he actually wants for you. See, I was playing small. In the last several years, I've played super, super small. I haven't been on here. I haven't spoken. Haven't wanted to speak. You know, I felt so lost for several years. I was really just, I didn't want to build a business. I didn't want to help any more people. And I'm so thankful that I'm not that way now, right? So you should share your gifts. We all have different gifts. We all have different things that we've learned. It doesn't have to be about money. It could be just about life. It could be that one life lesson, because if somebody would have sent me that video on Dr. Brian Artis 10 days before, my mom would still be on this earth today. Because I can assure you she would have never walked in that hospital. I would have got on the airplane when I found out she had COVID, which granted, I had given her the product that she needed to take, but she refused to take it. It was in her medicine cabinet, and she refused to take it. I knew it would have been fine. That's why she told me she was going to take it. She didn't take it. So she would have been perfectly fine there, but she would have never gone to the hospital. I would have got on a plane. I would have flew back. I would have gotten her the medication that she needed, the ivermectin and the hydroxychloroquine and the ACE man, and she already had. I would have fed it to her, and she would never have gone to that hospital. But that trajectory, that one thing, shifted my whole life. It made me adamantly opposed against the vaccine. So I went and put up billboards that said, no vax, no mask, no job perfect, we're hiring. I was totally against. The government came in and told me that I was going to have to force people to wear masks in my office, and that they were going to be COVID tested and all these things. And I told them, when you pay my bills, you can tell me what to do. But until that, you need to get out of my office. So I fought against them, and guess what? I got a letter saying that I'd done everything that I needed to do. It's funny how that works. You have to push back, right, on things that you know is the truth, things that you know is right? You have to tell people. You have to use your voice. You have to speak the truth at all cost, right? At all cost. At all cost. So anyway, I wasn't planning on going here today. I don't even know what I was planning on doing, but this is whatever the Father wanted me to say, so I guess I'm sharing it with you guys. I just speak your truth and share your circumstances, but also how to get out of those. I'm not ready to share it yet, but a couple years ago, something really, really bad happened to me, and I was super scared. I was scared that it was going to destroy my business. I was worried it was going to destroy my marriage. And I just tell you this little last piece, and then I'm going to go. And the Father told me I needed you to release the trauma. I need you to wake up. I need you to stop. I need you to focus on you for a minute. And because you would not listen to me. And I did. And I focused on me. I put in the effort and focused on me and went to a great psychologist, worked with a neuropsychologist, had some EMDR. If you guys have never done that, it allows you to release trauma that has happened to you in the past without the emotion of it. So you don't have to, get destroyed on the inside of stuff that happened in my childhood. And he told me everything was going to get better. He told me it was going to be amazing. Like it was going to be unlike anything that I'd ever seen before. And it was and I'll just tell you, our payroll went down $300,000 that year. I got rid of our CEO because he wasn't doing what was best for our company. And I took back over my company. My payroll went down $300,000, not just him. We had 3 or 4 people that we let go. And then my income went up $800,000. That was a $1.1 million swing from the prior year. Not only that, because I dealt with that trauma, I found out and refused, what the doctor said that they thought was wrong with me. I dealt with that trauma and I came out of it. And then, thankfully, rightfully so, I, found out I was pregnant with a baby at 5 months. I was 5 months pregnant when I found out I was pregnant with Amelia. And she would not be here to this day had I listened to the doctors and they told me to take the medication that they said I was supposed to take. Because I knew. I did not agree with it. You do not agree with a diagnosis. When you do agree with it, that allows Satan to take over. So I knew that. I was smart enough to figure that out. Because I was seeking, actually, Dr. Brian Artis out at an event and met with a deliverance pastor and went through deliverance. Those are little pieces of the puzzle I never would have put together. So, it's just, life is truly amazing. We started 2 businesses last year. We bought another 70 acres in the mountains just in the last month. I signed on the papers on one of them this week. We bought a house. And one of them had a house. So we're going to turn it into a tiny house community. So we can do retreats and masterminds. We can all get together. We can make it tax deductible. We can do a 4-hour, 1-second training. And then everybody can hang out and go kayaking and hiking and just have a good time. I'm going to build the family that I did not have. The family I thought I had, for 32 years that completely abandoned me the second I made the decision that they didn't want me to make. So, I built my 7 children, and then I'm going to build a family that I love to hang out with and spend time with. Yeah, tax rebels, right? So we're all rebels. And, and we bought a new building on Friday. So, I've got 2 buildings I've got one that we rent because they won't sell it. And then another one came up for sale. So we bought it yesterday. And I have made some of the most amazing connections in the last 2 weeks. That's going to turn us into a $1 billion company in the next 5 to 10 years. But the most exciting part is that we're going to help millions of people, right? That's the deal. Millions of people need to understand and hear the information that's in my brain. And so I have to free up my time, and I have to bring in a team of people who can do the things that I have been doing only because I'm nobody else can review tax returns. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. The strategy is high level. The education is what I need to be teaching. And there are teams of people who are going to come and walk in our lives that just are great at doing that. And we're going to help them do what they love to do so we can go help millions of people. And I can go speak around the world and help everybody learn these things, right? So, and learn more stuff and just hang out with people and love on them because that's what I love to do. So, sometimes don't seem that way, but I'm very much a nurturer. I just do it in a totally different way. I try to keep people from getting hurt, and not go through the things that I have. So I hope this helped. I don't really remember the point. I started off with, I'm really excited tomorrow that, Billy Beck, doing a challenge with him, Tony Robbins coach. And I'm committed to the next 12 weeks to lose another 30 pounds and get to where, I have not been since 11th grade. And I'm committed this year to be the healthiest I've ever been, to be the happiest that I've ever been, to have the most time that I've ever had, to spend more. I'm going on 4 vacations this year with our kids, actually 5. And we're going to make more money, because when we make more money, we give more. Right? I mean, so every dollar is tied to a serving of advanced immune support to medically fragile children. And we're going to find a good company that is working for sex traffic victims. We're going to do all the things, right? I think if we actually just really focused, and it's never been about me. You know, in the start, it was always about my kids. And, I mean, guys, there was time, like, we didn't have money we'd go to McDonald's and spend $8, right? Eight things for our 6 kids, and we didn't eat. That was 8 years ago. We had $150 to pay for groceries. And I was drowning, and I was working, and I was working, and I was working, and I didn't see the end in sight. And I see it now. I can see it. I see the top of the mountain. And I just want other people to be there. Is it hard? Yes. Is it worth it? Yes. I would suggest today that if you're in a place where you are constantly thinking about how in the world am I going to pay my bills, stop thinking about that. Think about, what do I want to strive for? Like, sit down and really map out, what are my dreams and what do I want? And your brain psychologically will start working to get you towards that dream. I don't care what the economy looks like. I don't care what the inflation looks like. It doesn't matter if you start focusing on something bigger. I always used to say, I will always have enough, right? The Father always gave me enough. He always gave me enough. And then I realized one day, if I just said the Father always gives me true abundance, He would. It didn't come overnight. But man, He does. It's been a long time since I've had to worry about anything. If I want something, I figure out how to get it. And what I want now, right? What I want now is not more money. What I want now is more freedom. I want to help more people. I want to have more time with my family. But I want to impact more, right? I want to speak. Like, that's what I love to do. That's what I'm good at. I'm good at teaching and educating people and speaking my truth based upon my past experiences, because you can overcome anything. So I guess I'm going to leave that at that. I'm going to go hang out with this little baby girl. I do want to share with you, this is my pool. It's kind of dirty today, but this is what I look at every single day when I'm working outside my window. So my office is right here behind me. And so, guys, I hope you have an amazing Sunday. I know this was crazy long, but I do feel like it maybe will impact some people. So I love you guys. Y'all have an amazing day. Oh, and I'm having an event October 21st, my first ever. It'll be Tax Rebels and OTB Tax event. We're going to talk about taxes. We're going to network. We're going to hang out, and we're going to help each other grow. And we're going to build a family that all of us, you know, I'm sure we long to have, people that we can actually get deep with. That's the one thing I think is missing in this world, is that, you know, when you go to family reunions, like my family's having a family reunion today. They didn't invite me, but that's okay. So it would have cost me 8 hours of my life to drive down there and back, and I would have gone had they invited me. So anyway, I'm good to be here and spending the day with you guys and sharing. But it would be surface level. How's the weather? How is life? Whatever. You know, it wouldn't be a deep dive into real life, and that's what matters most to me. So I hope you guys have an amazing day, and just go out and share your truth, right? And go help some more people, and think bigger, because that's exactly what's going to happen. It will come to you, right? It will attract. Like attracts like. Go get around the higher level thinking people, which is what I had to do in the last month and a half to get back to Courtney, to who I am, who the essence of me is. So have a great day. Love you guys. I love you, Terry. Bye.